as you guys can see.
Yes, Sheikh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We carry on with the module we're currently on. They're speaking about Hajj and Umrah. Okay, we had stopped here at التدريب الأول. Say أجب عن الأسئلة مستعينا بالصور. Answer the questions, getting help from the picture. Okay, so I'll ask the question and you guys can answer. هلا مغير أين تقضي عطلة الأسبوع? Let's translate what are they asking and then answer.
Where do you spend your weekend holiday?
أحسنت.
تقضي عطلة الأسبوع
عطلة
في
ها
المسجد
عطلة
الحرام.
عطلة
تقضي
الأسبوع في المسجد
عطلة
الحرام
الأسبوع في المسجد في مكة المكرمة.
في مكة. طيب خيبر ماذا تفعل في مكة؟ What do you do in مكة؟
أصلي في مكة
في المسجد الحرام
في المسجد الحرام
وأعتمر وأطوف وأسعى etc. طيب ماذا تفعل في المدينة المنورة؟ على مغير؟
أزور المسجد النبوي.
أحسنت. أين تقضي أيام العيد؟ خيبر.
أقضي أيام العيد في أسرتي.
مع أسرتي. But أين is asking for a place. So أين
في بيت أبي.
في حرف جر. بيتي.
في بيت أبي.
أبي. أحسنت. طيب بما تشعر في مكة المكرمة؟ على مغير؟
نعم أشعر بالسرور.
There is no نعم ولا هي saying بما. What do you في مكة المكرمة؟
أشعر بالسرور.
طيب ماذا تفعل بعد الطواف؟
بعد الطواف
طيب.
يريد دعاء.
What's in the picture؟ على مغير؟
بعد الطواف أصلي.
No, but here they're going between Safa and Marwa. طيب سيدة.
سعي.
Here this question says ماذا تفعل بعد الطواف؟
في ركعتين.
Here the people are in the مسعى. طيب محمد. Is this your level or I am book one Muhammad? First time. Are you with us, Muhammad?
They're doing say, Assalamu alaikum. They're doing say.
Pardon?
They're doing say.
Yes, they are doing sa'i. So how do you respond?
Actually, this is my first class. I haven't.
First, no problem. This is book 1B. This is a little bit higher. When we go to book 1A, as you'll see, then inshallah it will be your level. So you can say أذهب إلى المسعى. I go to the place to make sa'i. Or أسعى بين الصفا والمروة. Okay, as they taught you in the exercise. طيب, next one. Say متى العطلة؟ العطلة في شهر رمضان. They've given you a month. And أين تقضي العطلة? Where do you spend the holiday? أقضيها في مكة. طيب خيبر. Next one. متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر شعبان.
أين تقضي العطلة؟
أقضيها في المدينة المنورة.
أحسنت. على مغير. متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر شوال.
أين تقضي العطلة؟
تقضيها في بنغلاديش.
أحسنت. خيبر. متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر الحرام. شهر المحرم.
وأين تقضي العطلة؟
أقضيها في تونس.
طيب على مغير. متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر رجب.
وأين تقضي العطلة؟
أقضيها في الأردن.
خيبر متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر صفر.
وأين تقضي العطلة؟
أقضيها في باكستان.
أحسنت. علم غير. last one. متى العطلة؟
العطلة في شهر ربيع الأول.
أين تقضي العطلة؟
أقضيها في ماليزيا.
في ماليزيا. أحسنت. ماليزيا. طيب. Here they've given you. Say here. صف لزملائك كيف اعتمرت مستعينا بالصور والكلمات. Describe to your friends how you made Umrah using the pictures and the words below. Okay, this I want you guys to think about it, and then Thursday we'll go over it. So here they want you to give full sentences. So لبست الإحرام وصلت المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الحرام طفت حول الكعبة etc etc etc. Okay, inshallah. طيب حج خيبر what are the مواقيت؟
I need to catch up on that topic, so
طيب علم غير.
I don't know. The real ones.
ميقات when it comes to حج. عمر.
Miqat has the other boundaries given by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Yeah,
And
which
you
ones
need
are they?
to,
Without looking in your notes.
Okay, I know only two. Zul Hulayfa
Yeah.
and Yam Lamma. You said in the southern part.
Yalamlam.
Yeah.
Yalamlam for the people of Yemen. Dhul Hulayfa for the people of Medina. You have to learn all these mawaqit. You have to learn them. طيب. We'll carry on. Okay. After taking the mawaqit and after taking how a person enters into ihram, they then mention some of the things which are prohibited for him to do whilst in ihram. Okay. So the first thing, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج. Basically, there's no intimacy in Hajj. There's no marital relations in Hajj. There's no fusuq is any type of sin and any type of fuhsh and vulgarity, etc. Shouldn't be vulgar. And wala jidal, no arguing also in Hajj. So basically, if you think of any deed that makes a person lose focus of what he's supposed to be doing, any bad deed, obviously that would be prohibited, along with these, when we said that no marital relations. So that's the first thing. That's point number one. That's right here. So you can count the points and you guys can make notes of. Point number one is from the ayah. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج. Number two is when you read in the books of fiqh, you'll find a long list of things he shouldn't wear. We could summarize it, as I told you yesterday. In the books of fiqh, it says a person shouldn't wear what's called makhit. Now, makhit, some people from khayt, which is to sew, some people translate it as anything that's sewn, but that's incorrect. Rather, it's anything that takes the shape of the body. So yesterday I told you my sleeve, for example. The sleeve of mine takes the shape and it shows my arm. It shows that my arm is like this, for example. That's the shape of my arm. So that wouldn't be allowed. If I'm wearing, for example, a shirt, it clearly shows here's the neck and here's the arms and here's etc. If I'm wearing a trouser, it shows my legs, etc. So for a man, he's not supposed to wear anything that shows. Hence, they then speak about the details. So for example, one of the things they mention, a person shouldn't be wearing a qamis, which is a shirt, and not a sirwal. Sirwal is the bottom garment or the trousers. So a person also shouldn't be wearing that. Also, a person shouldn't be covering his head, and this is for the men we're speaking about. So you shouldn't be wearing any head covering, whether it's a scarf or what we call a tagiya or a topi or a turban, etc. This for a man. That's point number 3. And notice how it's coming under that which is being worn. Okay. And also when it comes to the feet, a person shouldn't be wearing socks. No socks. Okay. Unless he doesn't have shoes. So let's say there's a person who's got no shoes. The only thing he has is socks. Then one of the hadith, the Messenger ﷺ says he can wear those socks as long as he cuts them below the ankle. Now, in the Hanafi madhab, when it comes to wearing your footwear, so let's say you're wearing your slippers or your flip-flops or whatever you call them, you're not wearing a shoe that's covering you fully. They say that Ka'b, we usually translate it as ankle. But they say in Hajj and Umrah, it's referring to the bone in the middle of your foot. So if you had to put, if these are your 5 toes, okay, and then you come up from your 5 toes and you get to about here, there's a bone, okay, on your foot. If you feel it now, you'll feel it. Otherwise I would have lifted up my foot. But anyway, when you get there, they're saying that that bone there in the chapter of Hajj is being referred to as the Ka'b. Hence, you shouldn't have any footwear that covers that bone. I'm not sure what's the exact English terminology for it, but it's roughly above your above the arch, straight above the arch of your foot. So there's a bone there along there in the middle. So they're referring to that. So they say that anything that covers that will not be permissible, and it will fall under this. Hence, you find a lot of them are very insistent on wearing those slippers that you see all the toes and it just about holds. Or they might wear, some of them now, they'll wear like a leather sock, but it doesn't go all the way. So it literally just hugs the bottom of your foot and just comes over your toes, and that's about it. It doesn't cover that. Whereas the others allow you to wear a bit more flexible footwear, but bearing in mind that they don't allow you to wear socks. And I don't know of anybody who allows you to wear shoes like tackies. Okay. So generally your ankle is open. Also, when we mention a person shouldn't cover his head with anything, also the face. So for example, wearing a mask, and this is for men and women, not allowed to cover the face with something that holds. Now, when it comes to medical reasons like the pandemic, some of the scholars mention that due to necessity, it's permissible. And as for a woman covering her face, those who wear niqab, some of the scholars mention that if a woman still wants to cover her face, then she can just take like a garment and put it over. It doesn't have to be a niqab, because the niqab then shows, it takes the shape of the face. Also, so that's point number 2, is things which are worn on the body. Point number 3 is when it comes to perfume. Okay, a muhrim, once he enters ihram, he's not allowed to wear any perfume. Okay. Number 4, when it comes to his hair, whether it's a hair on his head, a pubic hair, etc., he's not allowed to remove any of that hair. So he can't come and say, okay, now he's in ihram and says, after one day of Hajj, he says, you know, my hair is long, let me just cut a few strands here, or let me take a small haircut. He's not allowed to do that, because it's going to negate his ihram. He'll have to pay a penalty. Okay. And then that's referring to all hair on the head, hair on the beard, hair in under the arms, etc. That's why before a person enters the state of ihram, they're supposed to have taken all that out. Also, when it comes to cutting the nails, person is not allowed to cut the nails. All this they should have done before entering the state of ihram. Certain things which people may think that, okay, if all these things are not permissible, what about if I use an umbrella? Or what about if I go if I use the shade of something? That's permissible, because it's not joined to you, it's something completely separate. So an umbrella is not on your head. Or if you're under the shade of a building, there's no harm, because it's not joined to you. Also, there's no harm in taking a shower. Let's say a person needs to go to the shower, person needs to go to the bathroom, etc. On condition, some of the scholars mention that he shouldn't use those scented soaps. and he shouldn't scrub his body so hard that he takes out the hair, etc. No, he should try his best to maintain what he's not supposed to do, i.e. In terms of removing hair, etc. Also, yesterday it was mentioned, speaking about wearing a belt. There's no harm in wearing a belt. So roughly you've got an idea of the things which are permissible to wear, or things a person should wear, and the things which are not permissible to do. And all what we've taken is, number one is speaking about the deeds. Number two is speaking about wearing, whether it's clothing or it's perfume. Number three is speaking about sayd, hunting. So let's say there's an animal, a gazelle or whatever it may be. A person in ihram is not allowed to hunt. He's not allowed to kill that animal. And at the same time, he's not allowed to show another person to say that, you know what, that's something to hunt it. So neither is he allowed to hunt, nor is he allowed to lead others to those animals. Why? Because he's in a state of ihram and he's not supposed to be killing anything. Also, when it comes to killing anything in general, we're talking about living animals, even small animals, in terms of ants and flies and that type of thing. He shouldn't be there to kill them unless they are annoying him, things like mosquitoes, etc., unless they are harming him. You guys understand? So you took what's permissible, what a person should be doing, and what a person shouldn't be doing. And we said bad deeds, as well as certain things he's not allowed to wear, and there's certain things he's not allowed to do, like hunting. And inshallah, tomorrow you take, or not tomorrow, next day, you take, when a person enters Makkah, okay, what's the first thing they do? What do they start with? How are they supposed to do those, the nusuk that they are doing in Makkah? Any questions?
On Friday lecture, you said the ihram is not just the piece of clothing, but it is the niyyah. So
The
can
niyyah,
we,
and according to the Hanafi madhab, the talbiyah. According to the Shafi'i madhab, niyyah is just enough. According to the Hanafi madhab, you must say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So, for example, let's say a person is flying and he forgets. It happens where you put your ihram in your main luggage and now you're flying into the miqat. We don't say here that you're not allowed to go into ihram. We say no. Here you can make your talbiyah and you make your niyyah. However, you'll pay a penalty for having entered wearing normal clothing. Okay. Alam,
Sheikh, my question is, how people take care of the sweat and smell? Like it is.
you can bath. I mean, you
Oh, you can bath.
Yes,
I thought you
in
can't.
ihram you're allowed to bath, shower, etc.
But you can't
But
remove the.
what you're going to remove the odor with? You can't use. Generally, you can't use scented things, according to most. And that's to show everybody is one of the reasons that shows everybody is equal. Everybody is dressed the same, they look the same, they smell the same. And also reminds you of the day of Qiyamah. Everybody will be gathered. The people will be gathered. Hufatan, uratan, ghurlan, ghayra makhtunin. Hufah, no shoes, barefoot. Urah, no clothes. Ghurlan, even uncircumcised. And kama bada'na awwala khalqin nu'idu. In the same way Allah began the creation, is the same way He will return it. Any more questions?
if you're allowed to take bath, but you cannot wash the ihram, right?
No, you can wash your ihram if it gets dirty. No harm.
Okay.
No harm. Some people, what they do is they carry, like in Hajj, they carry 2 ihrams, 3 ihrams. One gets muddy, one gets dirty, one gets this. Change another one. One is smelling, and we'll change it. Alam Ghair.
Sheikh, when the Ayyam of Hajj will start, or the Zil Hajj will start now, like
Yeah.
we not like Hajis, like can we also like remove our nails and like promoted here?
It depends. It is mentioned in some ahadith and according to some of the madhahib. A person who intends to slaughter, he shouldn't cut his hair or his nails once the 10 days begin. Okay? So a person who intends to slaughter. And if you're not making Hajj, it's recommended to fast or the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah, because the 10th is Eid, and especially the 9th, which is the day of Arafah.
Two more questions.
Yeah.
In the Friday lecture, you said you can apply perfume. You mentioned something that you cannot apply on your body, but you can apply it on your ihram.
No, opposite. I said that before getting into ihram, a person can apply perfume. So let's say you have a spray and you put it on your neck, okay? And then put on your ihram, your 2 white pieces of cloth.
Sheikh, the hadith is about a person who intends to slaughter should not or must not. Is it
Some say must not, and some say should not, but most say must not.
The second question is the threshold of the udhiyah, the slaughtering, is similar to the threshold of the zakah?
We'll get to that, inshallah. And also the difference between the Hanafi madhab and the others. In the other madhahib, one animal is enough for the person and their family. As a Hanafi madhab, you're going to look at everybody who is able to, inshallah. We'll get to that. I want to stop here, and inshallah, tomorrow is our reading, and then Thursday we'll carry on with our lesson, inshallah. Any other questions? Write them down, remember them, and inshallah we'll catch up on Thursday. Yallah. Ya manillah. Salam.